Hi there, it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome to my channel. Today I am getting into the Lisa Eldridge Summer 2021 collection. We have the Cosmic Rose Highlighter, the Enlivening Blush in Pink Soap. I picked up 2 shades from the Luxuriously Lucent collection. I picked up another Velvet Matte lipstick and another Gloss Embrace lip gloss. So we're going to get into the product details. I'm going to do swatches. I'm going to do a demo of all the shades, and for a little bonus feature, I'll also do swatches of the Velvet Matte lipsticks from the 2020 fall launch and another lip gloss. So it's going to be a lot of fun today. I am super excited to try all of this new stuff with you. I love Lisa Eldridge, and I'm just really excited that she's come out with complexion products now, not just the lipsticks, although I love them, and the lip glosses and the lip pencil, but I'm glad she's taking on new territory, and I cannot wait to see what she comes up with next. So let's get into product details real quick. The Elevated Glow highlighter comes in 4 shades. I have Cosmic Rose. This is $38. Made in Italy, lasts 12 months. There is 13 milliliters of product in here, 0.43 fluid ounces. This comes in a nice glass frosted bottle. There is a doe foot applicator that's very huge, almost like a concealer applicator. It has a bit of a slant there. Gold top, and the shade name is at the bottom. Now the Enlivening blush, interestingly enough, is in a tube instead of a glass container. Which I think for liquid blush, depending on the formulation, she probably could have done a glass container, but for some reason decided to go with the tube. And so this is 15 milliliters, 2 more milliliters than the highlighter, 0.5 fluid ounces. Made in Italy, lasts 24 months. I got Pink Soap. Shade name is on the back here on a sticker. There are 6 shades of the blush, and this retails for $34. So $2 less, but 2 more milliliters of product. Maybe it's the packaging, probably. I would assume that costs more. This is the box packaging for the highlighter. Very consistent, white and gold. And then this is the blush, liquid blush, white and gold as well. Move on to the Luxuriously Lucent lip color. That's a mouthful to say. I got the shades Kitten, Mischief, and Rose Official. It's Kitten, Mischief, and Rose Official. So the Luxuriously Lucent formula comes in 7 shades. The Matte Velvet formula, I picked up 1 color, Velvet Affair. This is like a very 90s brown color that I believe sold out quickly in the fall 2020 launch and this launch. And the Velvet Affair comes in 13 shades, and both lipstick formulas are made in Italy. They last 18 months, and they have 3.5 grams, 0.12 ounces of product. And they are consistently, they look the same. This is the matte, this is the Lucent. The packaging, you cannot tell from the outside that they are a different formula, so you will have to read what it is on the bottom. Both formulas of lipstick are $36. Moving on to the lip gloss, I picked up the shade Affair, which is the same shade as the Velvet Affair lipstick, or very close to it. I say this is a little bit lighter, but this is the packaging. It's plastic, gold cap, and the lip gloss lasts 36 months. It's also made in Italy. It's 4.5 milliliters, 0.15 fluid ounces. There are 10 shades, and this retails for $25. This is the box packaging for the lip gloss. This is the Lucent packaging, and the Velvet ones have a gold on the side. So a little bit different there. Another note about packaging, I did get a free velvet case with gold zipper. This is green, and I got this with my order. I think if you spent like a certain minimum, you got a free bag. And this is a really useful bag for anything really. You put pencils, but makeup, if you had short brushes, you could fit them in here. It's pretty spacious and super useful. Lisa Eldridge logo, very plain on the back. This is the one I got from the fall. It has flowers. It's black. Again, gold zipper, little symbol there, the Lisa Eldridge symbol on the zipper on both of them. This was also available in the fall, the green one. They have a couple other colors as well. If you're interested in ordering enough to get one of these pouches, I think they're really nice. And really that's it for the product details. Everything shipped great. My order went fairly well, except I believe this launch there was a little bit of a snafu as to when the launch was actually happening, because I think they put the wrong time zone on the website about an hour before launch, or maybe it was 2 hours before launch, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna double check what I think the launch time is, and I was right. Thankfully I double checked, and I, just in case, I think it was 7 a.m. that the launch was, and I think the website at one point said 8 a.m. but they fixed it. So everything worked out. I got everything I wanted. It was a pre-launch and everything shipped out the date they told us it was gonna ship out, so really can't complain there. If you're wondering where you can get these products, you can only order them on the Lisa Eldridge website, and because her products are exclusive to her website, things sell out very quickly. So if you hear about a launch, set yourself a calendar reminder and alarm so you can wake up early if you're in the US for the UK launch time, because her stuff sells out every launch. So if you really want to get something, you got to jump on it. I know for me, this launch, I wanted to pick up a lot of more things than I did, but because some of these formulas I've never tried before, I just wanted to get a sense of them before I pick up something else. So let's get into the swatches. Now I did some outdoor, more of a direct sunlight swatches that I will show you the B-roll of. But first we're going to do the indoor. Now starting with the highlighter, Cosmic Rose is definitely a shade that I thought would be more pink toned, but it's definitely a nude. And I think the Cosmic Rose comes with the little pink shimmers in here that you probably cannot see well in this lighting. I think Cosmic Rose for a name is a little bit misleading, because usually when you think of a product, you think of the overall color and not the little nuanced shimmers in here. I mean, looking up close, even in this light, I cannot see much pink to this at all. So there is one lighter shade, Crystal Nebula, that I probably could have picked up instead of this, and maybe I will pick that up next time, but it's already sold out. But I think the shade is still gonna work for me. It is just a little bit deeper than I expected. But there is the swatch there in indoor lighting. This formula feels really nice and kind of serum-like. Let's move on to the Enlivening blush. I have pink soap. I thought this would be a different color for me. Well, I don't know if it's actually super different from what I already have, but I think it's more of a brown pink. And I thought it would just be a really safe color. Now this is way too much product than what I will actually put on my face, but this is the saturated version of what this will look like on my face. But you can see sort of that browny pink tone there, which is a little bit different for me. I don't really think I have one super close to this shade. Very creamy and smooth and easy to, you know, take down a notch, I think. It doesn't seem to be drying on me right away. Alright, I'm going to start with the matte formula in Velvet Affair. Now, this is more saturated than the other formula. So, we're just going to do one swipe. So, very 90s, pretty brown matte color, very of the now, I think. Might be a little bit much for summer, but come fall, this is going to be a great shade to turn to. And if you haven't tried the Velvet mattes, these are one of the best matte formulas I think that is out there. I'm not a super lipstick person, but I really enjoy the matte formula that she has. Now I'm going to go into Gloss Embrace. This is the lip gloss, and this is a fair. So this is the shade that goes with the matte one above it, but this one I will say is a little bit lighter and warmer. I think she doesn't seem to be going for an exact copy of the matte lipstick. I think this might be a little bit more user-friendly for more people, this color. And it's just not as opaque. It's not a liquid lipstick, it is a lip gloss. So it is a little bit more caramely nude than like that 90s brown. So onto the Lucent lip colors. I'm going to start with the more peachy pink shade. This is Kitten Mischief. And so these are a little bit more easygoing and they have a sheen to them. And you can go back and forth to get more color here. So this may not really look like what it would look like on your lips if you only do a couple swipes. But that is the saturated color of Kitten Mischief, which I don't think I have anything close to this. This looks really pretty, especially for my pale face. The next one I have is Rose Official, and this one is a bit pinker, cooler toned. I'm doing a couple layers again. Really pretty, kind of like lit from within kind of a lip color. Really nice. Both, I mean, I love all of these choices. It was really hard to like narrow down what I wanted to get because I really wanted to get almost all the shades. And I will talk about that on the end, like what's on my next shopping list or what was kind of swirling in my head when I was picking out my cart and filling out my cart, like which ones were on my like next second best list that I wanted to get but didn't end up getting. But these are really pretty swatches and I'm super excited to try all of these on my face with you. Let's get into the demo. All right, let's do the highlighter first. I'm gonna pull back my hair. I do have a couple different foundations on because I wanted to do a little bit of an experiment with the blush and highlighter. So on this side of my face, I have the Chanel Le Beige's water tint and the Dior Forever Skin Correct concealer. I just put the concealer under my eyes, and everywhere else on this side is the water tint. So I wanted to see what it would look like with something very light sort of coverage. And so on this side I use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter Foundation. Flawless, just flawless. This is more full coverage. So that's on this side, and I use the same concealer under my eyes on this side. I put a little bit of powder on my T-zone, but no powder here. That's why I'm like pretty shiny, but it's also pretty warm. So I just wanted to see if there's much of a difference in application, how it looks like on both sides. I'm going to be using my fingers today because that is normally how I would apply these liquid highlighters and blushes. I have blended liquid blushes out with a brush before, so I may end up doing that, but we're going to do the initial steps with the fingers. But since the highlighter has a doe foot applicator, I will be just directly putting it on. But I'm just going to start out with a little bit of small amount. This is like huge, so show you a concealer size. This is the Dior Forever Skin Correct, and then I'll show you the highlighter. So pretty giant. I love it. I mean, I'm not sure why it's so large because in Lisa's like demonstration video she puts like a very small amount. But so I'm gonna wipe off a little bit on the edge just because I don't want to overdo it at first, and we're gonna start on the lighter water fresh side. I'm just gonna do a couple taps and then tap it out with my fingers. So if I wanted a really natural, subtle glow, I probably would stop there, and that's all you need, just a little bit of a dab. And I think you can see some shine, some reflection there, but because you probably can't see the color, I'm gonna put more. Like, I'm probably gonna overdo it so you can guys get a better sense of the color, and I'm gonna get it in my hair. Highlighter can sometimes be difficult to see that well in indoor lighting on camera, especially liquid. It's a little bit more natural. I think you can maybe see that a little bit more. I think this blends into the skin beautifully in this lighting. I will have to take some photos more in the direct sun, but even though this is a nude and I think it looks a little bit scary in the swatch, a little bit dark, I think it blends in beautifully. Let's try the other side. I might use the other part of, there we go. This is super serum-like. I think I'll have to do a little bit of a comparison later, but this reminds me a lot of the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This feels a little bit lighter of a formula, but it's not sticky. It just doesn't dry down powdery, but it doesn't stay like super wet, like you feel like you have lip gloss on your face. So I'm really liking it. I'm gonna put a little bit more. I'm overdoing it for sure. Look at that sparkle. I'm gonna look up close in a mirror to see how my foundation looks now that I've tapped this in. Okay, so this side, I don't see any disturbance in foundation, but there wasn't a lot there to begin with. I mean, this side is much more natural. On this side where I applied the highlighter, it does look like, it doesn't look super obvious that anything's disturbed, but I noticed like down here where I didn't apply it, there's little, you know, foundation collections in my pores, and the collections don't seem to be as apparent where I applied the highlighter, so it kind of made my skin actually look better and more blended where I put the highlighter versus not. Kind of improved the way my foundation looked on this side in this area, so I'm okay with that. Doesn't seem to be too much of a difference if you do full coverage versus not. Now, I didn't do like a super thick layer of full coverage, so it's gonna depend on the foundation, of course, and how you apply it. If you put powder, I didn't put powder. I generally try not to put powder before liquid products. All right, onto the blush. I think I'm just gonna need a really small amount. I'm gonna put this on the back of my hand. And this is a little bit hard to squeeze out. It's a little bit thicker than I thought it would be, so I think it's definitely smooth, but I think I'm gonna need a really small amount. Sometimes I like to tap, sometimes I just kind of swirl my blush. It seems really easy. I love an easy formula for sure. If you want to disturb things less, you want to do the tapping. So I don't have like super perfective blush placement. You could certainly be a little bit more strategic. My foundation doesn't look too disturbed. Everything looks pretty good. I'm gonna apply a little bit more though, just because I really want you to see the color on my skin. I think this is a really pretty, flattering, natural blush flush shade. Like if I were to get embarrassed, this is pretty close to what me blushing looks like. I like that it's not too pink. It has some brown. I think adding the brown makes it a really pretty, flattering color. I'll have to see how long this lasts. I know liquid products can, sometimes your face can just eat them, but that happens to me with powder blushes sometimes as well. My face just makes it disappear. So after the end of the day, you can't see my blush anymore. Pretty common, actually. But I am curious because I will be putting a little light layer of setting powder on top of this to kind of get, you know, remove some of the shine. It is summer, so I get pretty shiny But that is such a gorgeous color, pink soap. And pink soap, I know exactly what she's talking about. Those old school little soap balls, something my grandma would have had in her bathroom. It's definitely like a weird pink color, and I like it on my face. I'm enjoying it. And the highlighter is not like super apparent, but I think if you're in the sun in person, it just gives you a nice flattering sort of glow filter in the right areas. Alright, so that is the complexion products. I'm loving it. It's super natural and gorgeous and easy breezy. I'm a fan of that. So we're gonna try out the lip stuff now that I picked up. I have 4 lip colors to try out and different formulas. Now I didn't get another lip pencil, but the one I have is blush, and I don't really think it's gonna go super well with any of the shades except for perhaps Rose Official. But this is the blush color. There wasn't anything wrong with this lip liner. I don't know that it's like super necessary that you have to get a lip liner from this brand, but it is nice if you want a coordinating lip liner with your lip colors. Actually, I just noticed that I just looked on the website, like, where's all the lip liners? Maybe she took a pause on lip liners, so I couldn't have picked up any new ones anyway with the summer 2021 launch, so perhaps there will be more in the future. I'm not really sure. That's interesting. I didn't think about that. So I just want to try the lip colors without liners today. I'm actually gonna go lightest color to deepest in case there's some staining. So we're gonna start with the Lucent formula, and I'm gonna do Kitten Mischief. This color is like a good nude for me, but we'll see how it looks on the lips, because it's not gonna like wash me out, which happens a lot with nude lip colors, especially if they're too light. So this is described as a semi-sheer coverage lipstick with a satin finish. It delivers with one swipe, or you can build the color to create a more radiantly polished look. Here we go. This is so comfortable. It's definitely more sheer than I thought it would be, but I like that you can layer on more. It feels, as I said, super easy breezy, comfortable. There isn't like, it's not like super sheer that I feel like I can put this on without a mirror, but I love this color. This is like a My Lips but better. But for me, this is like more of a warmer color than my natural lips. I'm definitely cooler toned, but I like the way this looks, especially with this warmer eye look. I think this is going to be nice for a really like subtle natural color, and it's going to go with my warm toned looks. So I'm happy with Kitten Mischief. It's warm without being too peachy or too kind of a nude warm brown. So it's a nice color, and I don't think, as I said before, I don't think I have anything close to this. So it seems a little bit boring, but it's like a perfect nude for me, so I like that. Let's go on to Rose Official. This is our more pink shade, but still very like a natural kind of nature shade. This is a color that I definitely have to use a mirror with because I went outside the lines. A very comfortable, flattering pink, but it's like a pink red, like it's a natural looking pink. Again, a color that I could see my lips being, although it's never this color. It's really pretty and flattering, and again, another shade I think that would go with this eye look. It's just kind of one of those like really fresh colors. One of those like in-between shades that you can't really describe. Like, it's pink, but it's rich and kind of reddish pink. It makes the lip color a little bit more approachable and natural looking, and like it's part of you almost. Or you ate something really sweet or like fruity, and your lips are a little bit stained, a little bit red from the fruit. So it's a nice color. It's pigmented enough though, I think you do need a mirror to apply. Alright, so this gloss Embrace, we're doing a fair. I think you're still seeing some of that red come through from that Rose Official. But this is a very brown toned lip gloss, which I don't have a lot of, but it still kind of breeds very like neutral slash nude on some people. Like not nude color for me, but like a brownish nude that it's like your skin but better. Or your lips but better. I think this is an interesting shade on me. I love the formula of this. It feels really comfortable, non-sticky. It's a good weight to it. It's not like an invisible feeling lip gloss. Like you can feel it's there, but it's nice. The lip glosses don't last forever. I don't know that there's many lip glosses that do in existence. But I think if you want to have your matte color underneath this, but you want a little bit of juiciness, the lip gloss is a nice topper option to liven up and freshen up some of those matte lipsticks that you might save for the winter and fall. So it adds a nice little juiciness temporarily. I think this color, if you're looking for that more flat brown, this might be a little bit more sheer and warm than you're expecting, especially if you want to compare this to the lipstick version. It's a different color, but I think it's still pretty. I don't know if that's the most flattering color on me, but I don't mind it. I'm gonna wear it. I think it's gonna go with my warm toned looks just fine. Alright, and lastly we're gonna try Velvet Affair, the matte lipstick. This is gonna be very deep. This might be one that you may need a lip liner for, because I'm struggling with shapes. And you can kind of see the outline of the red of my lips. So I enjoy this shade. This is very different for me. I don't know that this color brown is the most flattering for me, to be honest, but I like it anyway. I think it's very cool looking and very of the moment, and just kind of like an anti lipstick. It's not bold, but it's not like barely there either. I think if I cleaned up the edges it would look a little bit better. But I enjoy this shade. I think it's just really cool, and the tone of it might be a little bit harder to find, I think. So I think it's unique. I don't know if you guys have found other shades like this. I'm sure there are some out there, but the formula of the mattes are just super comfortable and wearable. I feel like you can do anything in these lipsticks. So that is Velvet Affair on its own. I'm sure some of you want to see what the lip gloss looks like on top of this. I'm going to go ahead and put a Fair Gloss Embrace on top. So on my skin tone, the matte formula is pretty deep, so the fact that not only does it like give you a little bit of a glossy shine, but it lightens up the lip color. I think that's, if this was exactly the same as the lipstick, it may not look as flattering. The fact that it's lighter actually I think helps this out, and it kind of gives it a slight ombre effect, especially if you kind of put this in the middle center only, the gloss. That's kind of a nice like gradient, like dark to light effect, which makes your lips look bigger. So I think this is a really cool combo. I'm glad I picked these up. They're nice on their own, but together they are better. So that's my demo of all the products. As far as comparisons to the blush goes, in like a liquid format, I don't think I have anything close, but we will try. Just quickly, here is Pink Soap. see a brownie pink there. I think the closest one might be the Kyer Weiss. I think this is Blossoming, but I think it's more peachy pink and not quite brown. It's not, yeah, I mean it's close, but not really the same brownish tone. More pink. I think this Fenty one, this is the Cheeks Out Petal Poppin'. Clearly not the same, but yeah, very pink. I have the Chantecaille Hydrating Gel Cream Blush, Cheek Gelée and Vibrant. Very different. So let's try the Glossier Cloud Paint, and I have the shade Eve. I think this is a more rich berry tone, but we might get a little bit deeper. Ooh, that's really berry. Okay, nothing close. That's always good when you buy something new and you don't have anything like it. Let's talk about like liquid highlighters for a second, because I know some of you probably think this looks like the Charlotte Tilbury one, and it certainly does. So this is Cosmic Rose. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in #1 Fair. That swatch next to it's also got a doe applicator. Ooh, this is a lot lighter actually. A little bit more champagne-y gold. So I probably got like the light to medium skin tone color, but I think it still works. So that's the Charlotte Tilbury, and then this is not quite the same, but this is the By Terry Brightening CC Serum. And I have the white shade, and I just more like texture and same sort of concept, like it's a glowy product. This feels a lot more liquidy, the By Terry. Charlotte Tilbury feels a little bit thicker, and then this one feels lighter than the Lisa Eldridge. Feels lighter and more serum-like than the Charlotte Tilbury, but not quite as runny as the By Terry, so kind of in between those two. But yeah, I mean, it is pretty comparable to this, and I don't have the Glow by Auric thing, highlighter thing, that's also similar to this. I'm sure like all of these products sort of give you that liquid glow type of deal. The good thing about these is you can put them under makeup, over makeup, you can mix them in with makeup, so that's the great thing about a liquid product, is it's easier to mix. Those are those comparisons. I don't think any of these products are like superior over the other. They all have different shades, different pricing. The By Terry smells really strongly of rose, which I don't really like, but I don't really smell any scents with the Lisa Eldridge products. And Charlotte Tilbury doesn't really either with this one, so I think it's just a matter of like picking out a color that you like, looking at pricing, looking at, you know, how much product you get. I'm gonna do the swatches on the new products I got up here, and the gloss I'm thinking of is the Chanel Ultra Tenue Timeless Beige. Let's see how close this is just for fun. Ooh, it's a different formula, right? It dries down pretty dry, but the color is not far off from a fair. So Timeless Beige is not a bad match. I'm gonna try the Pat McGrath Beautiful Stranger. I don't know that this is gonna fit with any of these. No, definitely not a match. How about Soft Core? I think this is more of a rose. Nope. Again, another Pat McGrath Matte Trance. I have a little Omni Pat McGrath Matte Trance that might go with this top shade. Nope, a little bit more rosy. How about Flesh 3? This looks a little bit too deep. Yeah, definitely too deep. I have a feeling 1995 from Pat might be close. Oh yeah. Not the same tone, a little bit more rosy than this guy, but kind of the rosy version of Velvet Affair. $19.95. Let's try Tom Ford Casablanca just for fun. And I might have to go over here. Definitely rosy, that's a no. How about Pat McGrath Realness? This might be promising. So this is definitely rosy. Yeah, no cigar. Last creamy lipstick. I have the Wayne Goss in Lily, and I think this is gonna be a little bit more pink. Yeah, not quite there. Try a lip gloss. This is Faux Real Pat McGrath Lips Gloss. This is lighter than the Gloss Affair one, but same sort of color family. Well, actually no, it's lighter. Just kidding, sorry. This is the new Zara purchase I got, and I don't remember the color. Zara Tinted Lip Balm Say Kiss. That's actually not a bad match to Kitten Mischief. A lot cheaper, and it's refillable. I think it's actually deeper and a little bit orangier. Different formula, but this is Kitten Mischief. This is the Zara Say Kiss. Pretty close, but not quite. So Rose Official, this is like probably more pink and shiny, probably more likely to have matches out there. I'm gonna try just a couple more options. Another Chanel Ultra Tenue. This is Soft Rose. Way too deep. I have the Chanel Rouge Coco Flash in Dream, which actually might be more of a Kitten Mischief color. A little bit deeper than this one, not quite. Same at Rouge Coco Flash in Live. This might be, it's more pinky and definitely more shiny, but same sort of idea as Rose Official. I think officially that's all I really have that I think is close to compare to. So I haven't found an exact match for anything. But that was a really fun exercise, and you guys should definitely try that when you buy new makeup. Okay, so I promised that I would swatch the lipsticks and lip gloss and lip liner that I got from the fall 2020 launch. Just so you guys can see, because all of these shades were still available in the summer 2021 launch. And I'm assuming it's likely that these will be available in the next release as well. So back in the fall of 2020, they had sets. So you could get a lip liner, velvet lipstick, and lip gloss. So I got the blush set, and I showed you the lip liner previously. And here is the blush matte lipstick. It's very rich, but really pretty. A little bit deeper than I expected, to be honest, but I still like it. I think it's a good skin color for my skin tone. I probably use the gloss the most from this trio because I'm just more of a gloss person. It's just easier and less maintenance. But this is a fairly deep gloss, so I mean I can't use it like in most of my looks, but it's still really pretty. So that's the blush trio. And then I got 2 additional velvet lipsticks. This is Velvet Beauty. This is a shade that absolutely surprised me. Like, I thought it might be a little bit too pink, but it's just really flattering. Velvet Beauty, I definitely recommend if you have fair skin. It's surprisingly good. And then Velvet Muse, more of a natural nudie. This is not the same as Affair, obviously, but a little bit closer to that kind of a vibe. I mean, Affair is 90s brown, and this is like a neutral pinkish tone. So Velvet Muse is pretty as well, and these are all really pigmented matte shades, and the formula is consistent across all the shades. It's all really good. Last part of this video, I wanted to share my like second place picks that I would have picked up if I had all the money in the world. For the highlighter, I probably would have picked Crystal Nebula, which is the lightest shade. It's a light golden champagne, and that probably would have been the most flattering for me, but I thought I would pick something a little bit more, to me, I thought would be a cooler tone, so I went with the Cosmic Rose. It says light medium rosy gold, so kind of more on the medium to me. For the blush was a little bit harder to choose. I went with Pink Soap because I thought that was the safest, but I was really curious about Dante's Dream. That looked really different. It's a tawny rosewood. It looked like it would be a little bit orangey brown on me though, so I convinced myself out of that. I didn't get Pink Poetry or Mountain Walk because I felt like I had some Glossier Cloud paints in those similar shades. I'm sure they wouldn't be exact, but I just felt like I didn't need those shades. Island Glow looked like a coral. I'm sure it's pretty, but coral isn't like my favorite blush color. And then Venetian Red was probably like my third place pick. It looks like very deep and very berry, which again, I don't really need another shade. I showed you the cloud paint. Like, this is a bright pink. This cloud paint Eve reminded me of Venetian Red. I know it's not the same, but... And then I have like Vibrant, like I have this kind of formula. So I wanted something that I didn't have. So I went with Pink Soap. For the gloss, like, I like the gloss. It's not something I would feel like I have to get every shade of, because to me it's not like the most unique feeling formula. I'm very big into texture. And while I enjoy these shades, I think her lipsticks are really different and really good, and they really stand out. So to me, I'd rather spend my money on the lipsticks. But I enjoy the colors that I have. Songbird would probably have been a good choice for me. I also was tempted to get Go Lightly because I didn't get the lipstick, and they have that available in the gloss. So that was a tempting shade for me. Delilac looks cool, but I'm not sure that I would wear that often, that bright fuchsia pink. But yeah, that's kind of it for the gloss. For the Lucent lip color, Painterly is the one that I would pick up after Kitten, Mischief, and Rose Official. Dance Card looked interesting, but not really a shade I would go for. It looks a little bit too peachy pink for me. So yeah, I think Painterly would be one of the top products I really struggled trying to figure out if I wanted to get. The Velvet lip color, I would honestly probably buy so many of these. So with the Velvet matte lipsticks, there's a lot of colors. Velvet Jazz, like a lot of people love. I would like to get something a little bit deeper than what I have. So Velvet Jazz looks really appealing, or even Velvet Myth, like super dark. Velvet Decade. Alright, I'm doing a little bit of a check-in about 4 hours later on the Lisa Eldridge makeup and lipstick. So I ended up finishing off to do a wear test with Kitten, Mischief, which is the Lucent formula. And as you can see, nothing left. I did eat dinner, so obviously it wasn't gonna stay on. I mean, that creamy formula, and it's not super like opaque formula. I don't think it's a surprise that it's not still on 4 hours later. I mean, I drink water. Now, if I was careful and, you know, ate using a mirror or used a straw to drink, perhaps there might be something left, but you know, I highly doubt it. But also, like, neither the Lucent or the Velvet Matte claim to be long-lasting, like all-day wear. I think the matte, you're probably more likely to still have some remnants still, but I mean, depending on what you eat and drink, it's not really likely that that much is gonna stay on. I do want to comment on my blush and highlighter and just show you like what it looks like 4 hours later. The blush looked a little bit deeper earlier, and it's faded a bit. And not that the blush color I got was super bright or I put on a ton of it. I did do, you know, a couple layers of the highlighter, and I'll see a little bit of glow with the highlighter, and I haven't really been touching my face but the highlighter was really subtle to begin with. I think some of you that appreciate more natural glow gonna love it, but if you like that super bright, shining beam of light, this probably isn't gonna be much of a highlighter for you, and you're gonna want to layer on more on top. And you can certainly do that. You can pop on a powder, but I still see a little, you know, a little bit of sheen there. It's not a lot, but I think the blush has definitely sunk into my skin a little bit more and faded a little bit. I can still see a little bit of that tone still in there. So I think, you know, this is a really natural creamy blush. You're probably more likely to see a brighter color even more 4 hours later. But, you know, I'm okay that it faded in a little bit and it sunk in, but some of you, you know, for the price of this are gonna want something like lasting all day long. I think when you have something that pigmented though, it's usually a little bit harder to blend out, a little bit more of a staining effect. And it's just a little bit more of a challenge to apply, something that lasts that long and probably not like as user-friendly. And I'm thinking of the glossy cloud paints. Some of the colors in that collection have a little bit of a stain, and they are really bright and pigmented, and they last a little bit better because of that, but this is certainly easier. So I would prefer a formula like this that maybe have to go back and reapply than something that I barely put a dot on my face and it won't move. That's just my personal opinion, but yeah, I think you can see a little bit of fading away, but you know, I'm not really here to complain, but I know for some of you, when you put on your makeup at the beginning of the day, you spend that time, you want it to still be there at the end of the day, and when it's gone, it can be a little bit frustrating, especially if you spend your hard-earned dollars on these products. Alright guys, so that is it for my check-in. Just wanted a little comment on what happened to my complexion and my lips. I'm very happy with all of them. Honestly, I don't have too much to critique. I do wish, I mean, me personally, my personal taste with the highlighter, I think I would have preferred if it was a little bit more noticeable, just like a little bit more of a high shine to it. But I think this goes with the Lisa Eldridge like aesthetic. It's very like beautiful makeup, and that's exactly what this is. And I'm glad that even though the shade looked a little bit deep for me, it looks fine. I mean, it looks pretty great. I can't really complain. I love the blush color. I think this is a really cool shade. It may not seem like super exciting, and she does have bolder shades to choose from, but I like how easy it was to apply with my fingers. Like, that's my preferred method of liquid blush application. Cream blush application is the finger, and it just blended out like a dream, and it didn't really disturb my makeup, no matter if I was wearing something more sheer or full coverage. I mean, I'm happy. And I'm honestly happy with all the shades that I got. I just feel like you can't go wrong with this brand. I mean, you might get a shade that you know, because of the virtual colors, it might be a little bit different than what you thought, but I mean, overall, if you're picking shades that are probably gonna go with your skin tone, then the odds are that it's just gonna work. That's just my thoughts. You gotta try out something from this brand. If you like something a little bit more casual, I would go with the Lucent formula. If you like a bold lip that you don't have to really reapply, I mean, I don't think it's absolutely foolproof. I think if you eat, you're gonna remove some. It's not one of those long-lasting mattes, but if you want something that's a little bit more stable and budge-proof and not gonna move around, I would go with the mattes. And she's got a lot of matte colors to choose from. She's got the most shades in that formula. My thoughts are the Lisa Eldridge is great, and I want to see more. I want to see stuff for my eyes. I want to see some powders. I want to see it all from her. I cannot wait for her to come out with more stuff. And I wish she had more launches more often. Alright guys, that is it for my Lisa Eldridge 2021 lipsticks, highlighter, and blush that I picked up. I'm super happy with my purchases. I love Lisa Eldridge. I love where she's going. She seems like a very intelligent makeup artist, and I love that she's really into makeup history. I think that's really cool. If you are not following her on Instagram or YouTube, you should definitely follow her because she is super interesting, and she, you know, makes up celebrities, and she's just seems like a really nice, cool person. But anyways, let me know your thoughts. Let me know, comment below what you guys picked up on this latest launch, and what are you looking forward to seeing from Lisa in the future. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.